where the strong survive. GoatLocker Racing, we come alive. We're brothers and sisters bound by the code. In the heat of the battle, we lighten the load. From the dirt to the track, we stand our ground. With a roll like thunder, we shake the town. We're racing to the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. From the first green flag to the final lap, we push the limits, no turning back. With the wind at our backs and the sun in our eyes, GoatLocker Racing, we'll claim the prize. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Our way on the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of a warrior, we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. We got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. But we wear them proud to show where we've been, but we wear them proud the glory's sake. We're the heart of the storm where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Yeah, for glory's sake. In the heart of the storm, we find our way. On the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, never turn to do or die. With the spirit of warriors, the game. In the heart of the storm, we found our way. On the edge of the wave.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
And we got coverage starts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
A few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. Spectacular fashion. Live from Auto Club in Fontana, California. It doesn't exist in the real world anymore, but hey, that doesn't mean we can't have some action at the 2-mile D-shaped oval in the virtual world. It's GoatLocker Racing Cruisin Classics Wednesday Next Gen Series action, and it's coming to you live on Maconi Entertainment. Dylan Coyle alongside Jeremy Briggs to bring you all the action tonight, and we're getting ready for round 2 of the 15 race GLR Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. A little bit of information about this racetrack. It opened in 1997, a really quick lifespan for Auto Club. Its last race happened in 2023. I was fortunate enough to be at that last Cup Series race. It's a shame that it doesn't exist anymore. It's got some perfect racing, and it is the second of 10 regular season races in this next-gen series. Darlington will be next week before we go to the one and only road course of the year in Watkins Glen, and Homestead will serve as the first half finale of the regular season before we're off for one weekend. Things start to get intense. Atlanta, Gateway, Phoenix, Nashville serves as those final 5 races of the regular season before Charlotte and Dover start round of 12 racing. Race cars are on the track. Qualifying has wrapped up, and we're just about ready to get going here, Jeremy. Let's take a look at the starting grid.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here as Brandon Evans is going to get that Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award here tonight. Brandon Evans in that number 39 machine will lead us to the green with George Jewell in the number 36. And then starting the second position, third will be the 27 of Jacob Ellingson. Fourth will be the 87 of Eddie Smith. Fifth will be the 15 of Jimmy Barkus. Sixth will be the number 20 of Tanner Bethia. Seventh will be the 07 of Patrick Drabeck. The 8th starting position will be the 08 of Brian Provo. That's funny, the 07, the 08, conveniently starting 7th and 8th here today. 9th will be the 91 of Daniel Cunningham. 10th rolls off is the 86 of Timothy Wilms. 11th will be the 14 of Chance Taylor. 12th goes the number 79 of Josh Lokenvitz. 13th is the number 26 of Logan Sturgeon. 14th, you got the 50 of Troy Green. And 15th, you got the 92 of Timothy Stubblefield. Just outside the top 15, you got the 51 of Jesse Necula, 17th, you got the 19 of Michael Bennett. 18th starting position, you got the 57 of Jeremy Gardner. 19th, you got the 04 of Scott Gilroy. 20th starting position, you got the 42 of Bobby Germain. 21st, the 60 of Jason Taylor. 22nd will be the 7 of Charles Abert. 23rd will be the 18 of Blake Edel. 24th will be the 10 of Corinne Smith. 25th will be the 9 of Yogi Valho. 26th will be 75 of Charles Fitz. 27th, we're really at the end of the field here, will be the 84 of Charles Stevens. 28th, last week's winner to start off the season at Daytona, will be the 94 of Jesse Whittington. And 29th, rounding out this awesome field of cars here, the number 12 of Levi McCarty. Boy, we have got an awesome field once again here for GoatLocker Racing. I am so excited to get this going as Brandon Evans once again locked up that Jam Printing Promotions Award.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show here at Auto Club. And just a reminder that Jacob Ellingson will get an EOL penalty because of some rough driving causing a collision in last week's race at Daytona, or at least it did get one. So Daytona was a fairly clean race. We'll see if this one is much more of the same. Pace car really taking us through the rest of this circuit quite quickly here. And of course, that Jam Printing and Promotions Award going to the Pole Award winner. They're local, veteran certified, and they do a lot of good in the community, creating printing and promotional sponsorships or materials for more than 60 local nonprofits. We're appreciative of their support tonight, and these cars get onto the front stretch. This dog leg, the pace car, has gone down pit road, and the green flag is in the air. We're underway here in Fontana.
29 cars barreling into turns 1 and 2 here for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. Putting on some 3-wide action up here towards the front for the top 5. Oh, almost squeezed them into the wall. I did not see what car it was, but they're tight up at the front. I believe that might have been Eddie Smith in the 87.
Goodness me, that was quite close. Could have been a disaster right off the bat. 60 laps of racing here at Auto Club. These lap times are under 40 seconds long. We get a good look at all of the onboard shots we're going to be able to bring to you tonight. Caution is out at the end of lap 1. What happened here?
Looks like we got the 10 of Corinne Smith down by the wall in the infield right now. Yeah, heavy damage to that right front, and that looks like that might be a race ending. Unless they have the time to get that fixed, but that wheel is definitely facing the wrong direction. The Iowa native having a rough start here to the beginning of race number 2 here.
Yeah, certainly a rough start to her race. Looks like a fair bit of damage to that right front as she takes it probably down to pit road. We're going to try and catch a replay of what happened here. A shot from way above. It's not quite the Goodyear blimp. You can see another blimp right over there, but it's a good look at what is going on here at Auto Club Speedway. Still looking for that replay. Nonetheless, though, it probably seems to have been a one-car incident. You see that one car down near that pit road wall, and not a way you want to start the race if you're Corinne.
Taking a quick look. Oh, taking a look at the replay here on my screen. On the 51, looks like Jesse Necula was involved. I believe Troy Green might have been involved as well. We might have had a multi-car incident. 42 of Bobby Germain involved as well. Looks like we got 3 or 4 cars involved in this incident.
Yeah, lots of cars involved in that incident. So early going here, already a little bit of calamity. You see a lot of cars either down pit road or did not make the start of this race. It's not the easiest race to win here. You know, this is it's a pack-heavy racetrack, right? I don't think we tend to look at any tracks that you do have to get on the brakes quite heavily going into turns 1 and 3 as pack-heavy racetracks, but it did show to be that way in its few times, or I should say it's 2 times with the next-gen NASCAR Cup Series cars that we did see take to the circuit.
It felt like the racing was just about to start getting really good here too. This track had a lot of character. It was definitely bumpy down this back stretch. All of these big seams on the track. You had to make sure you kept your car right off of those seams because that takes traction. Your car will lose traction. That means a good chance you're going to spin out. And a lot going on here early on. Definitely cars having a rough start to the night here.
Yeah, not the best night for some drivers. Here's another look at the start of this race. Now, there was almost an issue right off the jump when Barney, the flagman, showed the green flag. Already to the lead by a couple car lengths out in front is Evans. What goes on here? It's so wide, it's almost hard to really, show people how wide this racetrack really is, as the 27 of Ellingson gets a little bit slowed down, went up the track, got a bit too tight. The draft plays such a big role here, and we'll see on board with these drivers just how bumpy this track is too, how the surface kind of handles, and oh goodness, it was like a synchronized going into the wall right there. What a strange looking incident.
Very strange indeed. So early on, and all these other drivers right here are definitely going to be taking note. Maybe we take a quick breather as the pace car lights are off. They're going down the backstretch and getting ready to come to this green flag. This is going to be a great restart. Looks like we got 5 cars off the track right now, or excuse me, 4.
All right, so Brandon Evans will lead the way with that inside positioning. Just a quick reminder about some of the partners in this series: Lincoln Tech, Hidden Wit Brewery, and terms. Both Lincoln Tech and InVets are owned and founded for and by veterans. Well, Lincoln Tech, I should say, provides superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in supportive environments. They're a large automotive technology school. InVets aids veterans in transitioning to civilian life and focuses on helping them with job placement. And Hidden Wit Brewery will have the focus of being able to craft drinkable beers you love to enjoy and are the title sponsor of the Tuesday Xfinity Series. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. Evans will lead the way, get on the accelerator, and we're back to racing here on Maconi Entertainment. Lap 6 of this 60-lap race. Hard to believe we're already 10% of the way through, but we are. We've only had one green flag lap. Let's see if we can break that record here.
It looks like these drivers are having their hands full right now on these colder tires. Darker temperatures, the track isn't really absorbing a lot of heat right now, so maybe it's taking a lap or two, and these drivers hopefully rode their brakes a little bit, get the tires heat up. But look at this, we got 3 wide action all throughout these turns. These cars are getting all spread out. Oh, we got the 20 of Tanner Bethia on the wall there.
Yeah, that was a hard slap and right down to the bottom, trying to block and get a push from the inside lane. Bethia, not great for him, but he's able to keep it going here into 1 and 2. He's going to push tight mid-corner. He's going to have to take his foot off the throttle and just get that car turned. It is such a flat racetrack, and because it is so wide, you almost feel like you've got a lot more space and a lot more give when it comes to getting off the throttle or on the throttle early through a set of corners. That's not often the case, as we see.
Great battle right here for the edge of the top 10. Sturgeon, Chance Taylor, Daniel Cunningham, Timothy Stubblefield, Josh Lokenvitz, all drivers battling out. We got the number 12 of Levy McCarty that started on the tail end of the field up to 13th.
Goodness me, multiple drivers making headway early on, but you're not going to be able to get away from any of the field here. I mean, Evans is only a 10th in front of Eddie Smith right now as Sturgeon and the 91 machine goes side by side. That's Cunningham. This will be all throughout the night. What you'll start to see, though, is because of this heavy racing, there will be gaps that form and packs that stay true throughout this race. For instance, the top 8 has broken away from 9th on back. That will happen even more. These drivers will segment even more throughout this race if given the opportunity to do so with a long green flag run. Look at the bounces that these cars are dealing with heading into 3.
Look at all these drivers performing these onboard shots. Got the one driver there in the bottom right with the motion sim. You can see, wow, that is a great shot and some action packed out here. As you can see, these drivers all over the track right now. This is some great racing, only 10 laps into this race.
Look at the middle right onboard cam. Not quite sure who that is, but it is someone with a rig that responds to all the bumps. I mean, that's crazy.
Holy cow, that is very true to the real life. It's what I was talking about earlier on here in the broadcast. This track has so much character, and I tell you what, that's got to be one heck of an advantage, knowing exactly. Oh, slight contact there with 2 cars. I couldn't see who that was. I think that was a 26 of Logan Sturgeon that might have gotten to the number 92 of Stubblefield.
Also saw, I think somebody's wife said hi on the top onboard camera, just looking directly into that screen. We appreciate all the drivers offering us a glimpse into what their sim setups look like as the top 7 continue, now top 8 to break away from the rest of the field. Second stands in between George Jewell and Daniel Cunningham as we go through to lap 12 of this 60-lap race. Look at this draft that plays into effect in a big way. Eddie Smith closes in on Evans, does not want to make a move, doesn't want to try anything too quickly. I mean, there's not much of a point to do it right now as Smith pulls very tight, pushes way up the track through 1 and 2. I mean, Jeremy, at this point, you want to save fuel, right? We'll stay in the draft.
Save fuel. It's probably even harder to save fuel when you're up here battling for the lead. One of the drivers up here battling, number 27, the Lincoln Tech Machine of Jacob Ellingson. One of the drivers I noticed towards the end of the last GoatLocker Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series season was really starting to come on strong. He's trying to put his name in the hat for a potential winner here tonight.
Yeah, Patrick doing a really solid job right now. He had a great run to end the season last, it's weird to say last year, it really was at the end of 2024 as we're in January 25. He finished in the top 4. He was in the championship for competing Jason Taylor, who had a great season, 2 wins, a pole position, 7 top 10, 6 top 5s. Also led 142 laps. He won the overall championship, a really dominating performance in the final couple of races. So Jason Taylor right now, he's not necessarily having the race of his life. He's back in 20th position, not where last season's champion wants to be.
A long way to climb for the last year's champion, excuse me, for the defending champion. And he started in 21st, so he's gained 1 spot. Slowly but surely going to have to work his way up there. Last week's winner right there, just in front of him, is the number 94 of Jesse Whittington, right there, 19th. So those drivers right now, some of the drivers obviously we've seen the winner's circle very recently have a long way to go as they're outside the top 15.
Yeah, Whittington right now, last week's winner. Remember, he started in the back of this field. He's up to 17th. And Whittington, you know, the marketing promo that GoatLocker Racing produced said Whittington survives double overtime for the win. I'd say less that he survived it, more that he honestly stole a victory. He was quiet all day, all night long. Ended up in P1 by the last regulation caution, if you will. And then there were 2 overtime cautions that happened within the opening lap of each green-white checkered attempt. He was still in P1. No one had been able to get by him. He stayed in first. And I don't like using the notion that he stole it, because he is one of the top drivers in this field. And if it wasn't for missing a couple of races at inopportune times in the playoffs, he would have been one of the championship 4 competitors. He just, unfortunately, got granted a playoff waiver for missing 1, but did not get granted a playoff waiver for missing a 2nd. But he won races in both rounds to make it into the final championship 4 if, you know, he did get that waiver.
Unfortunately, with the sim racing life, sometimes real life things get in the way. And that was one of the reasons that Whittington had to miss a couple races. And like you said, it just didn't work out as we continue to look on through the field right now. Everybody's kind of strung out right now, and we're, let's say, 18 laps into this race. I'm going to say we are 12 laps into this run. Drivers are definitely going to have to pit for fuel. I'm not sure what tire wear is, but I do know they are going over 190 miles an hour into the turns, so those tires are probably getting extremely hot and probably starting to wear a little bit for them.
Take a look at some race analysis right here. You know it's 60 laps. What you might not know is that these drivers do not get any do-over. There is no mulligan, no fast repairs. Some of the GoatLocker Racing series do have 1 mulligan available to its competitors. However, not in the Wednesday Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. These drivers do have 3 extra sets of tires, as well as a fuel window here of later in the race. So they've got something to play around with. Fuel is not that much of a concern because tires will wear out quite quickly. If there are a lot of cautions in quick succession, is there an opportunity for drivers to maybe try and push the envelope and go an extra 20 miles or so till the end of this race without pitting?
The way this race is trending right now, these drivers are definitely going to have to start thinking about what their strategy is going to be throughout the race. Do they want to start pushing hard now? Do they want to save their tires? You know, we're 20 laps into the 60-lap event as we look at the 07 Save 22 machine of Patrick Drabeck. He's been running right here in the top 5 for most of the evening as he started in 7th. And he's got the 15 machine of Jamie Barkus right there behind him in that glove station machine.
Yeah, that 15 of Barkus left a lot of room on the exit of turn 4 to get a full head of steam down the front stretch. But if we're being quite honest here, it doesn't really matter as long as you're within a car length or two of another driver in front. You're going to benefit from a bit of a speed burst courtesy of the draft as the 20 of Bethia got very tight. Slow through the middle of 1 and 2 opens the door up for Jacob Ellingson, who had that EOL last week. Had an opportunity to win that race and got unfortunate moments in both that one and in this one. Make some contact, sliding up into Barkus. It's those tires, you get tight. This surface is abrasive.
Whew. That was extremely close through turns 3 and 4 there for the 27 and the 20. But so far, so good as Patrick Drabeck now trying to drive it down into the bottom, and he is going to find himself in front of the 20 machine of Tanner Betha as well. Save 22 machine. 1 spot forward, now finds himself in 4th.
Goodness me, that could have been absolutely detrimental to not just those two drivers' races, as there's some contact made in the outside wall right there from McCarty. That black and yellow machine up above Jamie Barkus. Could have been bad for him as well. These drivers are all really starting to deal with the effects of tire wear, not even halfway through the race. And really, it's not even close to halfway in terms of green flag laps. Remember, at the end of lap 1, they went under caution and got back going again on lap 6. So in reality, they've probably raced around 19 or so green flag laps, and they're already struggling mightily.
I'm starting to think that top line is going to be the way to go right here with the way the tire wear is. It's just making sure the cars that are slower aren't in front of you, because we are battling here 3 wide now as we're starting to have a lot of incomers and goers. Look at those lap times.
Yeah, the lap times absolutely have started to get over the 40-second range, as between 2nd and 3rd place, that gap has certainly been established. Yeah, Ellingson starting to fall back a little bit. Some lap time separation between Ellingson and Drabeck, excuse me. It's not as much, but it is enough to give a bit more of an advantage to the driver up in front. So lap times across the board have fallen starkly over the last 5 or so laps. They'll continue to do so. I mean, at this point, drivers are going to pit. There's no question about it. It's just when? Do you wait until lap 35? I don't know.
So much can happen too. You're going to be starting to think about, all right, I'm ready to come to pit road. You get ready to turn left, and bang, the yellow's going to come out, and it's either going to help you or it's not going to help you. And so much can happen. As I believe the fastest lap tonight so far is a 39.43 by the number 12 of Levin McCarty. And right now we're running 40.2s. Or 40.4 or 15. So these drivers were about almost to a second of fall off here.
McCarty, the Pennsylvanian in that Ford machine, is certainly making his presence known, running 8th in this one so far. This race is going to continue to be twisty and turny. The top 2 had gotten out to a 0.6 of a second advantage over 3rd on back, but Ellingson has gotten past Evans. Well, at least they keep fighting side by side, and Eddie Smith, the now new race leader, will try and pull away from that duo, almost going 3 wide into the corner. There was some contact right there, and now a car blinks out of our sight. Evans struggling mightily.
Wow, that was heavy contact there between 2 drivers. I just caught it at the corner of my eye. I'm not sure if maybe the 07 Drabeck might have been involved in that, but as we saw there, the 87 of the above the yellow line media machine of Eddie Smith is our leader. And boy, we had some action right there for 3rd on back, and whew, so far everybody's still going straight. got a yellow.
Goodness me. That could have been really bad. And that, like you said, we're under caution number 2. Trying to see exactly what happened. We focus on the 42 right there, but
Sturgeon machine, I believe, as well.
Yeah, Sturgeon way back in the field and dropping even more. Look at that, Lokenvitz in the grass. Oh, there's Sturgeon right there. Doesn't appear to be much contact, or at least physical damage. We'll have to take more of a look there.
Taking a quick look here on my end. Looks like coming off of turn 4. Oh, looks like contact there between the 26 of Sturgeon and the 79 of Lokovitz coming off of turn 4. Looks like Sturgeon didn't make any contact with anything. I'm not sure if Lokovitz got away unscathed as well, but looks like the Sturgeon machine just got into the left rear quarter panel of Lokovitz.
We'll continue to look for the replay of what happened there, but if you go into the pits now, you will make it to the end of this race on fuel, and I think that's what most of the field will decide upon, as weird-looking incident right there.
A quick blink there, too. Not sure if maybe they were a little bit closer than they thought, because the net code as the field makes the left-hand turn to come down pit road.
Yeah, it's the only understandable option they could do here. If it goes green the rest of the way, it's a simple fuel run. It could be a bit problematic later in the run based on tires, but they've not gone the absolute length that they would go here in this second half of the race if the green flag is the only flag we see until the final lap of the race, as all these cars head to their pit stalls. Who's going to be the one that comes out in P1? Remember, Smith was leading when that caution came out.
Developing story here, Dylan. Coming onto pit road, looks like the 27 of Ellingson might have gotten contact from the car behind him. He was running in second place, and it hit him into the inside pit wall. Heavy contact for that left front. Ellingson getting repairs on pit road now.
Oh, man, that is going to be detrimental for Ellingson, who is, I mean, you remember that contact. You see that contact, that left front. Is that more of damage repair, or is that more so a penalty? That's what I would put it on as more, because that's not a lot of damage, and if it was just that, it would have already been repaired by now.
Not sure if it made him speed when he came on the pit road, but a lot happened there. It was way at the beginning of pit road. Not sure if the car behind us wasn't ready to slow down, but a lot going on, drama early on, coming just on the pit road, and Ellingson, unfortunately, on the losing end.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate for Ellingson right there. He'll most likely have to go all the way back to every car that is still in this field, or at least still on the lead lap. He's going to have to hope that he doesn't go a lap down, because the entire field is on the front straightaway. He just exited, or he just did go down a lap. So what has happened to Ellingson?
I feel like every time Ellingson is having a decent night, something comes up, and unfortunately things happen. It looks like the 20 of Tanner Betha might have been given an EUL penalty for contact coming onto pit road.
Goodness me. All right, let's take a look at Ellingson right here. Things are just looking strange for him right here, are they not? He's just kind of already down in the turn-in lane, more so than any other driver, and well, Ellingson's out of the race. You see that right there on your timing screen. He is done for the day. I wonder if there was something else going on outside the sim that we can't see. Well, now he's back in the pits, so going in and out. There's no way that this is a penalty or a damage repair, in my opinion. He wasn't really involved in a wreck. nonetheless, though, we will get back to green flag racing here with over half of this race complete, 31 laps down, just 29 more to go. Barney has the green flag and waves it. Smith leads the way, and guess who's in second? It's Whittington.
Last week's winner with the Focus Fuel on the back bumper of that machine. Trying to focus his way up to the lead position, but right now he's got Levy McCarty to battle for that as well. Eddie Smith out front, really tight here. Second on back.
Pretty awesome to see already. Whittington is fighting for another race win. We didn't talk much about him in the first half of this race. Started dead last, is now into P3, looking to make it into P2, but Patrick Drabick wants to say no can do. He loses some steam out of turn 4, concedes the fight for now, will go middle of 3 to take second. Can't do it here. Eddie Smith says, thank you guys very much for fighting. We'll keep on trucking.
Whew, that was extremely close there on the exit of turn 2 there for Patrick Drabeck and Levy McCarty. Almost contact. As right now, so far so good. McCarty trying to get that top to grip and rip. Trying to keep himself there inside the top 5.
Goodness me, this kind of racing really makes you miss the type of track that Auto Club was. Even if it's not just the area, because the reasons for NASCAR selling the racetrack, you know, you can understand it from some sort. It's a lot of ground that is very lucrative to sell outside of Los Angeles. However, you don't get this kind of racing at a track like Michigan, which is probably the closest cousin to Fontana. This is so much wider and so much flatter. The surface aged wonderfully. You don't get this one day or 1 year to the other. This is after decades of aging of the surface, and just a good plan that NASCAR had in place to build this. Hope to see this some more as the years go on from another racetrack.
The 1.5 mile package on these next gen cars has been pretty extraordinary and really good to just see how great they can drive, and I can tell they're really close to getting that short track package fixed and getting us some great racing there, as well as the 60 machine of Jason Taylor now finds himself just outside the top 5 and 6.
On board some more, and lots of drivers with different perspectives and different rigs, but guess what looks the same across them all? The determination. They're all focused, and very few blinks are being witnessed, I'd say, from any driver in this field. 25 laps to go. It's just going to get a little bit more intense here in the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. By the way, Cruisin Classics has been buying and selling cars for many years. It's got a 56,000 square foot showroom in Columbus, Ohio, and there's something for everybody when you come to visit. Of course, the primary sponsor for the Wednesday Next Gen Series, and have been with GoatLocker Racing since the very beginning.
A lot of awesome partners that make this happen. It's one thing I love, like I say all the time about GoatLocker Racing, is they do a great job for the veterans in real life. Get them sim rigs and get them opportunities to have fun here in GoatLocker Racing. Look at this awesome 3x3 battle here. Wow, this is some tight racing right there. Jason Taylor trying to squeeze around on that outside of Fardo's car right now. Whew, I can't unsee the untied right now's machine.
I'll tell you what, a driver that is maybe on the edge of the top 10 or in the top 10 in Whittington, to me, this is the strategy that will win somebody a race. Run the high line and just don't abuse those tires early on in a run. There's so much extra grip. I don't think drivers realize how much they're going to lose as there's almost a clear wreck, and now there is. Oh, man, we were saved, and then it relinquished in the worst way possible.
You can see Prolo here limping along that Cruisin Classics. Oh man, just so much racing. Everybody trying to go for the same spot. Oh, Chance Taylor getting involved as well, and Charles Abert just in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately.
Well, it could have been an issue earlier on in that sequence, and it was all good. I'm not really sure whose fault it is. The 36 and the 08 were pinballing off each other. I don't know, but it was also, the car on the outside coming down after hitting the wall, kind of squeezing them all. Just over-aggression with a lot of time left in this race. So here it is, 4 wide. The 19 machine of Michael Bennett. That's a big squeeze. I don't know what he's necessarily doing coming all the way down like that. The 08 of Provo is already pinballing with the 36 of George Jewell, and that leads to that incident really pinballing out of control.
As pit road is a pretty much split decision, I think. We'll have to see who came and who didn't. Looks like Jason Taylor, one of those drivers that believes he wants to come down from pit road. I think Jesse Whittington right there, that number 94, making the hard left-hand turn to his pit stall.
I mean, yeah, if you want to get tires for this run to the end, it's not necessarily the worst idea. There's not too many cars you'll have to deal with. I don't hate this call. I'm almost more worried for the drivers that did not come down for tires in this pit break. Now, if there's another caution, let's say 10 laps, I don't know if it would be the worst idea to then come back into the pits for drivers like, any of them who did stay out. Doesn't look like there's many, though.
Trying to take a look at it right now. It looks like we got 7 drivers that stayed out. 7 would be the answer. So our top 7 drivers are on a different strategy, trying to gamble here in the last 20 laps.
So we take a look at this pit strategy right here. McCarty, Lokenvitz, Velho have stayed out for the time being on the tires they had currently had. That's why they've gone up through the field quite handedly through that pit strategy. Is this something they're going to be able to maintain?
I'm kind of curious to see how well this is going to work out. It's saying they're 12 laps on their tires. I'm going to say 4 to 6 laps are under caution for those tires. So, these tires might be not as used as we think. We're not sure, or we're going to find out here shortly as the pace car lights are off. The field is getting double file. We're going to have an awesome, I believe, 18-lap shootout here to the end.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. We're going to figure it out very quickly and see what action will come. Will we go green the rest of the way? Who knows? It's just going to be a classic finish here. There's no better chance to talk about Save 22, a 501c3 organization dedicated to preventing suicide among veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders. The 57 machine right there of Jeremy Gardner sporting that partner right there. There's a lot of good that comes out of Save 22's work and are the primary partner of Goat Talk Live. Let's take another look at this field of drivers under caution number 3 of the day, and about to get back to green flag racing here with 18 laps to go. I'm expecting more chaos, more bedlam. Who is going to get the advantage off the jump, and will it even matter a lap in? Green flag back down into the air. Drabic gets going on the loud pedal, but so does Barkus, McCarty, and Smith.
This is going to be one of those restarts where drivers are going to be trying to get every single position they can. As Jason Taylor and that number 6 machine is on the outside and almost makes contact with the wall, trying to make some momentum work.
Yeah, all these drivers fanning out, spreading out, trying to use all the track available to them. Not many have gone up to that final seam on the outside to get momentum. It's exactly what we're seeing from Wilms, almost scraping the outside wall, may have scraped the outside wall, and saves those tires. I mean, that might be key for some of the competitors here in the waning laps of this race.
Jason Taylor running in 4th, going for 3rd. One of those drivers on those fresher tires on the 3 in front of him.
The 57 of Gardner gets down to the inside of the 12 machine of McCarty. McCarty pinches just a tiny bit. The 60 of Taylor. Oh, he's right on the outside. He's begging them not to push tight too much as this race continues to go even more extreme than what it already had been. Drabic, your leader. Taylor, Barkus, McCarty, and Smith, the top 5.
Drabic saw that 60 car using that top line, trying to make it work. Drabic in the 07 saved 22. Went up to try to aero block him, use the dirty air to try to stall the momentum of the fresh tires of the untied Retinols machine as he continues to march forward. As Eddie Smith there in 5th, trying to get to the back bumper of, I believe that is going to be Jamie Barkus. Nope, excuse me, that's the 12 of Levin McCarty there in 3rd. We got a battle for the lead.
Race lead has changed hands for the moment. Some contact between Taylor and Drabic. Taylor cannot clear with the low line. The momentum back into Drabic's lane on the outside, running down the backstretch. McCarty in both drivers' slipstreams. Where will he choose to go? Back in 3rd. It's almost a blessing. It's almost a curse. You have to deal with the dirty air, but you do have the benefit of trying to predict whose line will be successful the most.
14 laps to go. Can Jason Taylor make this pass work with those fresher tires? But the only problem with him trying to make the pass is he's on the bottom. That is just eating up those fresher tires. He might lose the advantage of those fresher tires if he doesn't make this pass shortly. As the number 12 of Levin McCarty, who started on the tail end of the field, he's now putting his name in, trying to make the battle for the lead.
I mean, this is just fantastic racing right here with 14 laps to go. Still a lot of mileage to get through in this race, and anybody, and when I say anybody, I'm pretty much talking about the entirety of the top 15, have the opportunity to win this race. Make that more like 14th on back. We're seeing 4 wide, almost 5 wide racing here in Fontana, California.
Whew, my timing and scoring is just blinking green and red as these drivers just continue to swap positions, being 4 wide. This is some awesome racing here. Coming to 12 laps to go. Look at this, almost 5 wide. Oh my goodness.
This is just awesome racing. Whittington still in 8th place, loses some momentum behind McCarty, and there's a spinner into the ball field on the front stretch, and we're going back under caution. I think it was Bethia with 12 laps to go. More cars got involved.
Oh, he's going to take a right to pit road with the tow truck. We'll get ready to take a look at this replay right here as we came off into the coming to start finish line. You can see the 20 car off. Oh no, he's gonna come back up and into the track.
no.
Oh man, unfortunate circumstances. Who was that right there? Is that the 52 involved?
92 machine.
92, thank you.
So Timothy Stubblefield right there. Well, the incident initially starts. The 20 goes off the front hood of the 57, Jeremy Gardner. And, I mean, at this point, you're traveling at such a high rate of speed. Even if you have the brakes applied, you're not stopping from being sent back up the track. So can't really blame anyone there for that incident going the way it did. It's just quite unfortunate for how it ended.
Happens extremely quick too for everybody involved. He's right on board here with the number 2 of Timothy Stubblefield. You'll see the yellow is going to be out. He's just cruising along and just nowhere's to go. You can see he was trying to figure out left or right. He did not know where to go, and unfortunately, whatever direction he was going to go just did not work out. And unfortunate way to end this race here with just a few laps to go.
We will be right back here on Maconi Entertainment before we get a word with our partners.
X terms are equal. The graphs of the two lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate school.
Back to the action here on Maconi Entertainment. By the way, Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Entertainment, MaconiSetupShop.com. It's the home for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, event promotion, and more on the iRacing service. Subscriptions are available for as low as $8 per month. It's the official setup shop of eNASCAR and the official series sponsor of the NASCAR C-Fixed Series. Of course, that's us. Talking about us. Make sure to follow along with all the broadcasts that we do each week. A lot of them GoatLocker Racing specific. I want to get through some more of our partners while we have the time. Glove Station is committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of your daily activities and jobs. They're the primary partner for the Monday Night ARCA series. Can't forget about Nasty's Restaurant and Bar. Raise a glass, everybody at Nasty's. It opened its doors in Hilliard, Ohio in 2012. They're co-partners of this Wednesday Cruisin Classics Next Gen series and have hosted numerous fundraisers in their establishment with the goal of raising funds to donate a sim rig to deserving veterans and first responders. How about Operation Valor Racing? It's a race team with the goal of fielding a truck this coming season in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. It's veteran-focused and focusing on helping veterans all across the racing world. They are the main partner of the Friday Truck Series. Can't forget about Red Beard Design Company. Veteran-owned and operated, Red Beard Design Company is a brand design and creative agency out of Greenfield, Indiana. So when you see GLR anywhere, because they've designed all of the logos since day one, you will see a Red Beard design. How about iRacing, the world's premier motorsports racing game? An iRacing membership provides entry into the newest form of motorsport, internet racing. It's fun, easy, and inexpensive for race fans and gamers alike to enjoy the thrill of the racetrack without having to actually buy the race cars and the access. And, you know, there's a lot that you have to do to get on track. Why not just do it from home? We have a Powered by iRacing. We are a Powered by iRacing series. And lastly, how about Above the Yellow Line Media? Taylor Kitchen created a podcast in 2021 it was fueled by a passion for motorsports and a desire to build a community. That passion and collaboration led to the creation of ATYL Media, a dynamic team of motorsports content creators dedicated to producing motorsports content that's fresh, alternative, informative, fun, and an alternative to many of the mainstream podcasts and NASCAR and motorsports media. This is Motorsports Media Your Way. Goat Talk Live is broadcast on the ATYL platform, and I've actually had a bit of a guest appearance on one of Taylor's podcasts before. Look at that.
Really? You have?
I have.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I'll have to go check it out then.
Yeah, you know.
Do you remember the episode number?
I do not remember the episode number.
All right.
It was... well, what I do in my primary job, I work in public relations and content creation for GoatLocker Racing. So I see Taylor and Dom and many of the people with Above the Yellow Line Media week in and week out in the NASCAR garage area. It's always fun to see their faces.
Yes, I've just started following along as I've been doing a lot of GoatLocker stuff myself here. I've started checking in on a lot of their partners and see what they're all about and following along because they provide a great service to this mission that GoatLocker has, and I support them. And looks like the pace car lights are off. We're coming out of turn 4 to go back racing.
We are about to get back to racing indeed with 7 laps to go here. My goodness, are we going to get all 7 under green right here, right now? Let's figure it out. Dravik, race leader, gets going. Eddie Smith with a great jump as well as Barkas.
Barkas and the number 15 glove station machine trying to sneak in there. These drivers up towards the front on older tires. Looks like those pit strategy not working out for everybody else.
Not everyone got the best jump right now in the final few laps of this race. It's go time here. Coming to 6 laps to go. If you aren't in the top 10, you're going to struggle to make headway unless you've got fresh tires right now. 3 wide for second.
Whew. 07 at Drabeck trying to figure out where he was going to be there in the middle. There was almost some close contact there with the 39 of Brandon Evans. Number 18 of Blake Edel trying to make his headway there in 5th and 6th. We've got some great battles here at the edge of the top 5 is Eddie Smith, and the 87 continues to stay out front with Jamie Barkas right there on his back bumper now.
Yeah, it's go time here, all right? They say it all. It's hammer time. You got to hammer down. It doesn't matter. All the words mean the same thing. All the phrases mean the same thing. It doesn't mean synchronized spinning. That's exactly what we see from the 19 and the 91. Caution's out.
We might have had some synchronized spinning, but I think it might have been no harm, no foul. We'll see on the replay there. That was... You said some synchronized spinning. That was probably not the best time to do that, but it was done very well.
Well, I also wanted to mention that it was the 19 and the 91 that spun. A little bit of help there from the 12, but it was the 19, I think, that initially made contact with Cunningham. We'll have to see maybe more and get more of an understanding here. The 91 actually slides up into the 19 on its own, so Cunningham up into Bennett. Worst spot to make contact, and then kind of gets finished off by McCarty right there. Hard racing at the end. A little bit sloppy.
Aber, you can see up against the wall trying to avoid all of this. And our driver with... Looks like that's the 57 with nowheres to go of Jeremy Gardner. A little bit of contact. Looks like he might have just stayed out. But we might be very close here to a green-white checkered finish.
That would make it 2 for 2 in the 2025 spring season on green-white checkered finishes. The only question that would remain is if we go 2 for 2 in 2 attempts at green-white checkered finishes.
Gonna take a quick moment and shout out to the number 10 of Corinne Smith. She was involved in an incident earlier on. She stuck it out here after getting that damage fixed. Now getting a few more laps back. Almost got herself back into the top 20 here tonight. Got to give her credit for trying to ride it out all night with getting an incident there on lap 1.75, I guess you could say.
Sometimes the worst thing you can do as a driver is just give up when the going gets tough early on, and Corinne Smith has definitely tried to make headway through this field, so good on her for doing just that. A number of laps down, but could potentially still steal a few points, steal a few spots before this race is over.
She just got the lucky dog this time, and that actually jumped her up about 4 positions and now puts herself in 22nd. So not a bad night after getting involved in an incident there early on.
Not at all. I mean, there's not many better places, or I should say times of the day, to have a green-white checkered or final 2-3 laps of, I guess you could say, regulation racing happen than under the lights on the foothills of Los Angeles. Fontana is... not many people realize just how close Fontana is geographically to Los Angeles proper, mostly because of the traffic. But Fontana, if you put a straight point from Fontana to LA, you'd be surprised how close it really is.
It's a hop, skip, and away. And real quick, just want to give a shout out there to everybody out there in LA dealing with everything right now, and just let you know we're all thinking about you. And hopefully none of these drivers are involved in all that, because that is some pretty scary stuff, and hopefully everybody can get back up on their feet here shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. Fire and dealing with it's no joke. So thoughts are with everyone. I know there's a lot of various organizations that even without spending a dime, you can help with. I know the Red Cross does some great things. I believe they're helping out in vast numbers. So anything to help out, even just spreading the word with those resources, is a big bit of assistance. 2 laps to go here in Fontana. Green flag back out. We are not officially in green-white checkered territory, so there still is the opportunity for 2 more restarts from this point on. Smith leads the way in a 1 and 2. Barkis in second. Whittington back to third. He's got steam. He's got momentum. He stays off the wall and gets a bit of a push. He's going to potentially take away P2.
Couple cars finding contact with the wall there off of turn 2, but right now the battle is up front for second. Who's going to come to the checkered flags? We're coming to the white.
Coming to the white flag. 1 car gets way up into the wall. Multiple swinging down low. White is out. This is the final lap of the race, and Whittington is right there on Smith for the lead and potential win. He runs the high side. Some contact. Dravic got into the bottom of the 39. There's some more contact. The 15 makes contact with Blake Edel, and now Dravic spins down into Logan Sturgeon, who hits hard the inside wall, but it's a battle for the win of this race. 2 cars, 2 wide. Whittington slides into P1. He doesn't get it completely. It's going to be a photo finish here at Fontana. Smith, Whittington, Smith with the momentum. They make contact. Who wins the race? It's Smith.
What is that? Oh my goodness, what a finish.
Smith.
Wow.
I mean, our timing intervals show that it was. I mean, it shows a near tie, a near lock for the win of this race, and Eddie Smith has pulled it off. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you what the gap was right now in the thousands, because It says .00. It's got to be something in the next decimal spot. But Smith wins it in a spectacular last lap finish. Here's a replay, I think, of the entirety of the final lap.
What an absolutely crazy finish to this race. Drivers giving it all they can. You can see the 39 of Brandon Evans was driving it so hard there into turn 1, trying to get himself in position to win it. He's going to drive it so hard into turns 3 and 4, giving it all he's got. He'll make contact with the wall coming off of 4.
Goodness me. I mean, you can see that really deep drive into the corner by Brandon Evans to slap off the wall. He almost still got the win here. I mean, Whittington, that was a little bit disingenuous there from Whittington to run up into Eddie Smith. And I feel like the second bit of contact they made turned Whittington out of the race lead and Smith into the race lead. I still don't know yet how close that was. I mean, you can visually see it. Just unbelievable action. Get another look at that replay here. This is the entirety of the last lap again.
Looks like on my end, it looks like it's saying Jesse Whittington is our winner.
Oh boy. Well, in timing on my end, it says Eddie Smith.
It's that close of a finish, that is for sure.
This feels like Kansas all over again. Right now,
where's the straight line?
Oh man, I mean, there's no way we can tell exactly who wins this race except electronically, and electronically, I'm seeing Eddie Smith wins. I'm being told that. I think, Jeremy, you see on your end that it says Jesse Whittington has won?
Yes, both iRacing and on my timing and scoring, it is saying Jesse Whittington.
My timing and scoring says Eddie Smith.
It's a very, very close. I'm surprised because when he went across the start-finish line, everything I had did say Eddie Smith. And I don't know what made it decide to change his mind.
Oh, boy. I don't know what the outcome is here. I've never seen this before. I mean, live right there, it still looks like Eddie Smith to me.
Yeah, well, I think we'll take a quick commercial break here and come back with official results once we can find them.
Let's do that. We'll be back here on Maconi Entertainment.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
We are back here at Auto Club. And that's the finish of the race. I mean, right now we're seeing that Jesse Whittington, the 94, won this race. And
by that much.
I mean, sure. Sure. I don't know who won. I know iRacing right now says the farthest that iRacing as a timing scorer goes is into the thousandths. It says that the 94 of Jesse Whittington won by 1,000th of a second. In my live timing, which could be a little bit more inaccurate, it says that Eddie Smith won. So everything here on out is very much unofficial. You can't tell. I don't think you can tell unless you go full on VAR, soccer style, and start to draw the lines at every point that the finish line is at. Wow. All right, let's take a look at the unofficial results, Jeremy.
Yeah, the unofficial results here tonight, right now on timing and scoring, is going to show Jesse Whittington as our winner, the number 94. It's going to show him 2 for 2 right now in the GoatLocker Spring Season Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. Eddie Smith started in 4th, finished in 2nd. Brandon Evans was our Jam Printing and Permissions pole winner, finishes in 3rd. And you got Blake Edel there in 4th. Jamie Barkus, 5th. Timothy Williams, 6th. Levy McCarty started in the last position, came home in 7th as a good fight there. Charles Abert, 8th. Jason Taylor, last season's champion, is in 9th. Jeremy Gardner, 10th. Charles Steven, 11th. George Jewell, 12th. Josh Lokenvitz, 13th. Michael Bennett, 14th. Patrick Drabeck, 15th. Chance Taylor, 16th. Charles Feltz, 17th. Yogi Velho, 18th. Logan Sturgeon finished off in 19th. Jacob Alex in 20th. Daniel Cunningham is in 21st. Corinne Smith, 22nd. Bobby Germain, 23rd. Tanner Batha there in 24th. 25th goes to Timothy Stubblefield. 26th, Scott Gilroy. 27th, Brian Provo. 28th, Jesse Nukula. Rounding out our field in 29th is Troy Green.
Well, we're about to interview the winner of this race, and that means we're bringing in Eddie Smith, who I know we've been saying that originally it was Smith and then it went to Jesse Whittington per iRacing results. Officials have said that the official winner of this race is Eddie Smith. And Eddie, I don't know if this is the second you're hearing that, but just your reaction to the finish.
Yeah. I mean, awesome. You know, I mean, if I'm a fan, that's about the coolest finish you could see. So I don't know. I was surprised. At first, I was, pretty upset, obviously. But I know Jesse's not really a bad, he's not a dirty driver or anything like that. So, he immediately queued up and said, hey, I screwed that up. I don't know what happened. And so I think that's what happened. So, cool. If that's the case, I guess I'll take it. I'd love to cross the start-finish line absolutely first, but, I appreciate Jesse kind of being stand-up about it. And, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this right now.
It is quite wild. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a finish this questionable of who won it while both drivers are spinning across the line. Obviously, we've seen from Kansas in the real world, the Cup Series with Chris Buescher and Kyle Larson coming together. That was just a normal, just photo finish that ended up being the closest in NASCAR history. That was a little bit different. We're getting some looks on board with your view, your angle. You had the momentum coming off the corner, and what happens from this kind of perspective from you? What's going through your head?
There's nothing I could do. Once I settled on the throttle in turn 3 and 4, it was up to the racing guys whether or not I won the battle, and I felt like the run was pretty good. I felt like he was probably going to side draft me, which I think that's what he was trying to do. But I still felt like even with that side draft, I think I still was going to get it. But I don't know. I just held it to the floor and just let it be whatever it is. And I'm like I said, I don't know how to feel about it. It's a wild race, but I will say that was a lot of fun. It was so much fun racing. Had the tire strategy there at the end. Didn't know how that was going to play out. It worked out good. So, yeah, fun race all the way around. Happy to get the win. Wish it was different. But yeah, we'll take them whenever we get them. And hey, I appreciate Jesse immediately coming up being like, I made a mistake, and kind of asked the admins to do something, I guess. I don't know, but I stayed out of it. I could have been happy with first or second, but hey, I'm happy to get the win.
All right, now it's time to thank the partners that you've got. Give anybody shout outs that you want to give.
Yeah, Lincoln Tech. They are back again, sponsoring the whole league, and we definitely appreciate them. Save 22, new sponsor coming out. The sponsor of Goat Talk, a huge sponsor. Can't wait to talk to John Moser tomorrow night, as he's going to be on Goat Talk. So look forward to that. And of course, Cruisin Classics, OG sponsor of this series, and of course, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs for all that they do. Just incredible sponsors, and thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for doing such a good job.
Much appreciated, Eddie. Winner of this race, spectacular ending, Eddie Smith. All right, Jeremy, it's going to be up to you to talk to Jesse Whittington and see what went on, what we did not get a good look at after the race.
Well, we'll bring in our second place finisher here, Jesse Whittington. But before we get to this finish, you obviously started towards the back of the pack. You worked your way up. I'm not sure if you had any of the strategy there, but obviously you were fighting here for the win. Jesse, walk us through your perspective and what you had going on.
I mean, the start of the race, it all comes down to me because I messed up in qualifying, tagged the wall a little bit coming out of turn 2. I had a good qualifying run and just made a mistake coming off of turn 2, tagged the wall, and from there it was just trying to play the tire strategy, not necessarily in terms of when I took tires, but just saving them enough throughout the run. This track chews them up like crazy, so. But yeah, that finish I'm not too happy with. I screwed up. I was trying to make a move up to go side draft him. Wheel gets light, and whenever it lands, it just kept on jarring right. And I mean, nothing intentional. I feel horrible. I keyed up right away, and I said it showed that I finished first on my end. So I was like, I told them I don't deserve this win. Take it away from me. And so yeah, I mean, I'm really disappointed. I hate that. I'm sorry to Eddie. I don't have any other words. I feel terrible.
Well, Jesse, as we look, we can definitely see that you are definitely upset, and we definitely can tell that you didn't mean, from our perspective, that you definitely mean to be a little sincere here. So obviously you're always a contender up in the front, running around with these guys a lot, and you've obviously had a lot of clean races with these guys. But in the forefront, you've got a first and a second to start off your season. That's got to feel at least good if you look at, coming in the next race. And what do you got to look forward to, and who do you got to thank for getting you here?
Oh man, I mean, having first and a second to start the year, that's always fantastic. I mean, it really lightens the weight off of my shoulder whenever it comes down to this playoff push towards the end of the year. So definitely a very solid start to the season, and hoping we can kind of keep this momentum going. But as for sponsors and everything, at first, always I have to thank my wife, my kids. They always support me whenever I come out here to do this every Wednesday nights. I'll be racing on Sunday nights as well with these guys. I do the race control on Mondays and never hear a complaint. They just always supporting me. Of course, I gotta shout out what's on my hood right here, Cypress Graphics. Always trying to look for a little bit of business if you like the way my car looks. And then come on by, reach out to me, and let's see if we can get you hooked up with something like that. Focus Fuel, Burt's Beats, Luke Haley, of course, Jam Printing and Promotion. They're, I guess, a co-title sponsor for this series now, so it's always awesome with them. Thanks to you guys, Maconi Entertainment, for putting on the show every week, and Alexander PCs, we always got to shout them out for everything that they do to help get these sim rigs out to these veterans. So everybody listed there, thank you so much. I enjoy this league and can't wait to go back and watch this one, even though I'm not too happy with the ending.
Well, we appreciate your time. You had I'd say a decent race that, you know, it didn't start out great for you, finished out somewhat better than, you know, it could have gone, and appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll speak to you again after the next race.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great night and great rest of your week.
Sir, you too. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That was Jesse Whittington, our second place finisher. And finally, last but not least, a driver that kind of kept his nose out of the finish here. I could see him in the background, though. He was going hard, trying to give it all he could get. Our Jam Printing and Promotions pole winner, Brandon Evans, finished home third. Man, walk us through your night, and you were so close to making yourself a winner tonight.
Yeah, I sat it on the pole, which was really good. I was happy to get that extra point. I was trying to run at a pace that was hard enough to stay in the front. I know Eddie seemed like he was content with running behind me. As the run went on, with this new tire model, like the car in behind has such an advantage with the draft, and I made a really bad mistake and bobbled on the apron of turn one, and he had a great push, and they pushed right by me. Went into the next corner, and it all fell apart in one lap. And then I had a weird net code, like I almost wrecked. Saved the car, and then they wrecked behind me. And then when I went on pit road to get a new set of tires, I somehow slid the box. I had another blinking incident. It was very strange. I've never had that happen in like a long time. But then I fell all the way back to 18th, and it was just a grind from there to come back. So, you know, I wish that if I at least wouldn't have fallen off to 18th with that pit stop, you know, I probably could have had a great shot of getting to the front early enough before all this crazy chaos that we just saw. I mean, it was great racing. I had a great time. But I probably could have been in the front on the freshest tires. So.
Cool. Like you said, we could see you there at the finish. You were banging off the wall, coming off of turn 4.
I didn't
almost. Yeah, I could tell you were giving it all you could get right there, and almost got what you needed. A third place, though. I don't remember where you finished last week, but a third place this week is probably going to help you in those points, you know, earlier on in the season. So a good finish here. And who do you got to thank for getting you here tonight, and all your partners?
Yeah, absolutely. Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Hidden Wit Brewery, Cruisin Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Glove Station, Operation Valor. Happy to be partnering with them this year. InVets, Jam Printing and Promotion, Maconi Setup Shop, B-Speed, Sim Racing Media, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Alexander PC, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, of course iRacing, Above the Yellow Line, Sim Motion, and I want to thank Premier. Happy to be running them on the car as well this year.
And before we let you go, what was the ride like in that sim rig?
Yeah, this is one of the bumpiest tracks that we go to. It is a handful for sure. I know when I was pushing Jason Taylor at some point, like I was bouncing all over the place, and it's very difficult to hold the wheel straight, even though you're going in a straight line, because this car just bottoms out in the diffuser and it grips up and then it doesn't, and yeah, it is an absolute handful.
Yeah, we checked in you earlier on in the race, and you could see that you were definitely going for a ride at this old classic track. And we appreciate your time, Brandon. Congratulations on the third place, and hopefully we'll speak to you after the next race.
Hey, appreciate it, fellas. Thanks.
Have a great night, Brandon.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, well, that is it from us here at Maconi Entertainment. What an awesome finish to that race in GoatLocker's Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. Darlington is next Wednesday night. It's going to be a very different vibe to this race, but we appreciate all of you tuning in tonight to watch GoatLocker Racing's Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series on Maconi Entertainment. I'm Dylan Coyle alongside Jeremy Briggs from everybody else here in Maconi Entertainment's landscape. We wish you all a pleasant good evening, good night, and good racing.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
X terms are equal, the graphs of the two lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate school.
I highly recommend it. You won't find anybody as good as Jam Printing.
Jam is a friendly and professional company that just doesn't do print to make sure that you grow and your business grows to the next level.
They are a very community-focused organization. They donate to every event in the area.
Every time I hand out one of Jam's printed materials, I get a ton of compliments, and that's the power of Jam Printing.
One thing with Jam is it is a veteran-owned company, and that really resonates with me.
Jam Printing is like no other. Their dedication to customer service is amazing.
If you're looking to amp up your marketing, Jam Printing and Promotions is the place to go.
Cross Patchway, 0933.